Hi, everybody. This is literature for Monday, May 18th, and we're looking at the Bronze Bow, Chapter 8 today. So you should have read Chapter 8, and you should have taken the quiz on 8 before watching the videos. If you haven't done that, maybe pause the video and do that, and then come back. Let's see. Okay. Number 1 says, what had Daniel overestimated when he left Joel and Faces? His strength. He was feeling better, but it was a bad wound and he hasn't healed enough. What does Daniel hallucinate? He thinks he sees a moving boulder, but it's actually Samson watching for him to come back. How does he travel the rest of the way? Samson carries him. Who nurses Daniel back to health? Samson. What had the men thought? They figured Daniel was dead or captured. What is the end result? He's a hero for a day, then forgotten. How has Daniel's world changed? He has friends to share his burden, meaning Joel, Face, and Samson. What does Daniel repeat to himself? The deeds of heroes that Joel read about. Why is Judas Maccabeus so important? He's recent. He lived recently, and he lived in these same mountains. What can he count on with Face? Loyalty to Joel. What bothers him about Face and Leah? They seem to threaten his plans for revenge. It weakens him in a way. Why is the dagger special to Rosh? It is a talisman. That's something that's sort of like a good luck charm. Why can't Daniel fix it on the mountain? He doesn't have the right tools. Where does Rosh send Daniel? To Simon's shop in Ketza. How does Daniel hope to buy the rivet he needs? By working for Simon. How long has the shop been closed? A month. Where has Simon gone? He's following Jesus. What would Rosh expect Daniel to do? Break into the shop. Why is Daniel happy? He wanted an excuse to go to Capernaum. Anyway, that's where Simon is. Why is Daniel not worried about being recognized? All Jews look alike to Romans. Where does Daniel go to find Simon? To the harbor. Oops. Because remember, he's seen Jesus there last time he was there. Where does the fisherman say Daniel can find Simon? At the house of Simon Bar Jonas in Bethsaida. What does Daniel scratch on the mud wall? A bow. Remember, that's the sign. What did Joel bring? A loaf of bread. 24. What does Daniel want to know? What Joel thinks of Jesus. Daniel knows he's stirred a strong reaction in him and wants to know what Joel thinks. We've seen that like in the Bible too, that oftentimes when somebody first met Jesus, one of the first things they did was they wanted to bring somebody else to him to see him. What does Hezron say about Jesus? Jesus is dangerous. He's teaching new things. Why are the couple bringing their boy to Jesus? A camel bit him and his hand won't heal. Why will the boy need two good hands? To be a weaver like his father. What had their neighbors seen? Jesus heal a lame man. What surrounds the house? Groups of sick people. You can imagine people who could not either afford doctors or could not be healed by a doctor. Probably a lot of them came after hearing about Jesus. What blocks out Daniel's other thoughts? Jesus's eyes. Again, a strong reaction. What feeling does Daniel have? Fear. Who does Jesus thank before the meal? The women who prepared it. Normally they would have, in the Jewish culture, they would just have been forgotten, but Jesus remembers. What question disturbs the women? Somebody brings up ritual washing. There aren't enough facilities for it. What does Jesus respond? The food has been given in love, and that's enough. The ritual is not important. What question disturbs? What surprises Daniel? Joel eats. He would be one who would insist on the ritual washing, at least Daniel thinks. Why does Daniel almost hold Jesus back at the door? The crowd is frantic. How does Jesus move through the crowd? With serenity, with a peace. Serenity. Touching them. What does a woman scream? I am well. She's healed. Why had those in the house eaten so little? Leave some for the sick outside. Why are the couple with the boy crying? He has been healed, the boy who had been bitten by the camel. What does the boy say? It doesn't hurt anymore after hurting since the bite. What does the father say? I knew it was all right. What does Simon say about this healing? He tells Daniel it happens a lot. How does Simon say Jesus does it? Power from God. What does it seem to require in the person for this to happen? Faith, which of course also comes from God. What does Daniel hear in Jesus' voice? Strength and comfort. What does Jesus say? God loves and values you. To all the people in the crowd, even the sick and the poor. What else does Jesus say? God has a place for them. And like last Sunday's gospel, Jesus goes to prepare a place for us in heaven. How did the people listen to his words? Hungrily. They can't seem to get enough. What does Jesus say they must do? Love each other. How does Jesus look? Weary. All of this drains him. Where do the fishermen take Jesus? Suddenly we were someplace else. To a shelter on the roof. This was fairly common back then to have a place up on the roof. Remember, Daniel stayed up on the roof at his grandmother's house. Where does Simon send Daniel for the rivet? Samuel's shop. Why? Simon has worked there, and Samuel owes him money. So he said, just tell him I said I sent you to get it. What does Simon say about the money? He doesn't need any right now. What is Simon waiting for? Jesus to ask him to join him. What bothers Joel? They don't know the law, and some of the things they seem to be doing are unclean. At least these people who come to Jesus for help. What does Joel think? It's dangerous. It's a dangerous movement. What else does Joel say? He says, and yet there's something about it too that, gets to him, that sort of gets through to him. Okay, so this for Tuesday. We won't do this very often because, like I say, most of the chapters are about equal length. But 9 and 10 are shorter chapters again, so I'm going to ask you to read both 9 and 10 for Tuesday, and to take the quiz on both 9 and 10 before checking on the video. As you know, we're running short of time here with the school year coming to an end. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. I'm thinking maybe, I'm going to ask you to continue, at least through this week. We would have normally had class most of next week too. So I think I'm going to continue doing this at least through the next week. And I'm hoping that you'll get interested enough in the novel to want to read the rest just to find out what happens. I think it's a great book. So stick with it if you will. I appreciate your watching today, and we'll see you again tomorrow.